Hello students, welcome back. I am Rinkesh sir, and today we are going to continue with exercise 6.2. In our last video we had completed question number 6 of exercise 6.2. So now let's continue with question number 7. Question number 7. So that y equal to log 1 plus x minus 2x upon 2 plus x, where x is greater than minus 1, is an increasing function of x throughout its domain. Now let's take y equal to fx. That is equal to log of 1 plus x minus 2x upon 2. Okay, now taking its derivative, that is f dash x, I will get derivative of log x 1 by x, so here it is 1 upon 1 plus x. Into d by dx of 1 plus x, derivative of 1 is 0 and x is 1. Minus. Now here we will use derivative of u by v, that formula. So 2 plus x square as whole square, 2 plus x as it is, derivative of 2x is 2, minus 2x as it is, derivative of 2 plus x, that is equal to 1. Okay, so I will get 1 upon 1 plus x minus 2 into 2 plus x, that will be equal to 4 plus 2x minus 2x upon 2 plus x whole square. So 2x will get cancelled. When I will take LCM, I will get 1 plus x into 2 plus x whole square. 1 into 2 plus x, it will be 2 plus x whole square minus 4. Okay, so now solving it further, I will get f dash s equal to 2 plus x whole, oh sorry, here it will be 4 into 1 plus x. So 2 plus x whole square, 4 plus 4x plus x square, minus 4 into 1 minus 4, 4 into x minus 4x upon 1 plus x, 2 plus x square. 4x minus 4x plus 4 minus 4 gets cancelled. So f dash x is equal to x square upon 1 plus x and 2 plus x greater than 0. Okay, now x square always greater than 0. 2 plus x, again it is square, so this will be always greater than equal to 0. Now for say we have to prove increasing function. So for increasing function, 1 plus x must be greater than 0. That implies x must be greater than minus 1. Okay, so now see, it is clearly given x is greater than minus 1. So throughout its domain, see, x square is greater than 0, 2 plus x is greater than 0, 1 plus x. So all these three are greater than 0. That means f dash x is greater than 0 for every x that is greater than minus 1. Therefore, f is an increasing function of x throughout its domain. Okay, throughout its domain means, what is the domain? Greater than minus 1 means minus 1 to infinity. Clear? Okay, so this was about question number 7. Just note it down. Okay, now let's move to the next, that is question number 8. Question number 8. Find the value of x for which y is equal to x into x minus 2 whole of square is an increasing function. Okay, so let's take y equal to fx equal to x into x minus 2 whole square. Okay, so now f dash x will be equal to 2 into x minus 2 raised to 1 means if I take this as x square 2x into d by dx of x into x minus 2. So 2x x minus 2. X as it is, derivative of x minus 2 is 1. X minus 2 as it is, derivative of x is 1. So this will be equal to 2x into x minus 2, x plus x, that is 2x minus 2. So this will be equal to, when I take 2 common here, it will be 4x, x minus 2, x minus 1. Here, now let's rearrange this for greater than, we need to find out when it is greater than 0. Okay, so if I take x, this will be 0 at x equal to 0, x minus 2 equal to 0, this will be when x equal to 2, x minus 1 is equal to 0, this will be equal to when x is equal to 1. So this will be equal to 4x 0 then 1, x minus 1 and then x minus 2. Okay, I had arranged it. Now x minus 1 and x minus 2. Now starting from minus infinity, I need to take first 0. Okay, then 0 to 1. Then from 1 it is 2. From 1 to 2 and from 2 to infinity. Right? So what was our shortcut? In first, all negative. Second, first positive, other two negative. Second, first two positive, negative, and third, all positive. So what will you say about f dash x? First three negatives, when you multiply three negative, negative, positive, negative, just alternate. So decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing, right? So f is increasing function in 0 to 1 and 2 to infinity, and f is decreasing function in minus infinity to 0 and 1 to 2. Where you need to verify, you can take any value. Let's take minus infinity to 0 means minus 1. So minus 1 is negative, minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 negative, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 negative. From 0 and 1, let's take a middle value 0.5, 0.5 positive, zero point 0.5 minus 1, minus 0.5 negative, zero point 0.5 minus 2, 1.5 negative, right? And so on. But we can use their shortcut if it is arranged properly, like first about 0, then 1, and then 2. Okay? So this was about question number 8. Just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 9. Question number 9. Prove that y equal to 4 sine theta upon 2 plus cos theta minus theta is an increasing function of theta in the interval 0 to pi by 2. That means it is in first quadrant. Okay. So now let's take y equal to, now you take f of theta because the function given is in theta. That is equal to 4 sine theta upon 2 plus cos theta minus theta. Okay, so now differentiating it, I will get f dash theta. Now here I will use the method of uv, 2 plus cos theta whole square. 2 plus cos theta as it is. Derivative of 4 sin theta, 4 cos theta, minus 4 sin theta as it is. Derivative of 2 plus cos theta, derivative of 2 is 0 and derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta. Minus derivative of theta, that will be equal to 1. So now taking LCM, 2 plus cos theta whole square. Now 2 into 4 cos theta, 8 cos theta. Cos theta into 4 cos theta, 4 cos square theta. Okay, minus 4 sin theta into sin theta, minus minus plus 4 sin square theta minus 2 plus cos theta whole square. Okay, I have taken LCM, so I have multiplied it by 1. So this will be equal to 2 plus cos theta whole square. 8 cos theta plus, I can take 4 common, I will get cos square theta plus sin square theta minus 2 plus cos theta whole square, a plus b whole square. So 2 square 4 plus 2 into cos theta, 4 cos theta plus cos square theta. Okay, so f dash theta will be equal to, denominator it will be 2 plus cos theta whole square. Now 8 cos theta as it is plus, see, cos square theta plus sin square theta, this is equal to 1. So 4 into 1, 4 minus 4 minus plus minus 4 cos theta minus plus minus cos square theta. So here 4 will get, now it is 8 cos theta minus 4 cos theta. So it will be 4 cos theta. It will be 4 cos theta minus cos square theta upon 2 plus cos theta whole square. Now I can take cos theta common. I will get 4 minus cos theta upon 2 plus cos theta whole square. So this is my f dash theta. Okay, now I need to check in which it will be greater than 0. Then what do we get? You need to prove that it is increasing function in interval 0 to pi by 2. Now, for theta belonging to 0 to pi by 2, cos theta always greater than equal to 0, right? Now 2 plus cos theta whole square. Now as it is square, it will be always greater than equal to 0. So two terms are already positive. Now 4 minus cos theta. Now we know that cos theta, the value of cos theta is always less than equal to 1. Right? It's between minus 1 and plus 1. But at present it's less than 1. Okay. So minus cos theta, that will be greater than equal to minus 1. Okay, now add 4 on both the side. So 4 minus cos theta, that will be always greater than 4 minus 1, 3. That means positive, right? So see, 4 minus cos theta positive, cos theta positive, 2 plus cos theta whole square positive. So this implies that f dash theta is greater than 0 for theta belonging to 0 to pi by 2. Hence, f is increasing function function for theta in 0 to pi by, okay, here. So remember what I did first, I took derivative, then I got these three terms. Okay, I proved that all these three are positive in 0 to pi by 2. That means f dash theta is positive, it's greater than 0. That showed that it is increasing function. I'll write them greater than equal to 0. Okay, so this was about question number 9. Just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 10. Question number 10. Prove that the logarithmic function is strictly increasing on 0 to infinity. In the interval 0 to infinity means x greater than 0. Value of x is positive. So now let's take fx is equal to log of x. Okay, so this is logarithmic function. So differentiating it, I will get f dash x is equal to 1 by x. Right now, for every x belonging to 0 to infinity, means for positive value of x, 1 by x will be always greater than 0. That implies f dash x is greater than 0. Hence, logarithmic function is strictly increasing on 0 to infinity. Okay, so this was about question number 10. Just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 11. Question number 11. Prove that the function f given by fx equal to x square minus x plus 1. Okay, I'm taking fx equal to x square minus x plus 1. You have to prove that it is neither strictly increasing nor strictly decreasing on the interval minus 1 to 1, an open bracket. So let's take derivative f dash x is equal to 2x minus 1. Clear? Now see, when I take f dash x equal to 0, that implies 2x minus 1 equal to 0, 2x equal to 1, and x equal to 1 by 2. So this means that if I take the value less than 1 by 2, then 2x minus 1 will be negative. If I take the value of x greater than 1 by 2, then it will be positive. So minus 1 to 1, this interval is divided into two parts. For minus 1 to 1 by 2, okay, f dash x is less than 0, therefore decreasing. And for 1 by 2 to 1, f dash x is greater than 0, therefore increasing function. Hence, I can't say that whether it is strictly decreasing or increasing, because in half of the interval it is decreasing, the remaining half it is increasing. Hence, f is neither strictly increasing nor strictly decreasing function on minus 1 to 1 in an open interval. Okay, so this was about question number 11. So just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 12. Question number 12, it has four sub-questions. The main question is, which of the following functions are strictly decreasing on interval 0 to pi by 2? Means first quadrant, okay? But we must not take 0 and pi by 2 because it is open interval. So let's start with the first one. Let's take fx is equal to cos. Okay, so when I will differentiate it, I will get f dash x is equal to minus sine x. Okay, now see, for every x belonging to 0 to pi by 2, sine x is greater than 0, right? That means minus sine x will be less than 0. So this implies f dash x is less than 0. Hence, cos x is strictly decreasing function, strictly decreasing on 0 to pi by 2. Now let's take b. b fx is equal to cos 2x. What will be f dash x? Derivative of cos 2x minus sine 2x into d by dx of 2x, 2. Here, so this is our f dash x. Now, it is given that x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. That means 0 less than x less than pi by 2. I want here angle 2x. So 0 multiply by 2 less than 2x less than pi. This is first and second quadrant. Now in first and second quadrant, okay, sine is positive. So this implies sine 2x is greater than 0. It is 0 at 0 and pi, but that we are not taking, it is inequality. Cannot greater than equal to. So that means 2 sine x, 2 sine 2x greater than 0. That means minus 2 sine 2x, that will be less than 0. Okay, hence cos 2x is also strictly decreasing on 0 to pi by 2. So I am taking only 0 to pi by 2, okay? I had taken this is for 2x, but the value of x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. Clear? This was about B. Now let's see about C. Fx is equal to cos 3x. So what will be f dash x? F dash x, derivative of cos 3x minus sine 3x. And into d by dx of 3x, 3. So it is f dash x is minus 3 sine 3x. Okay. Now x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. That means 0 less than x less than pi by 2. But we want 3x. So multiply by 3. 0 less than 3x less than 3 pi by 2. Now see, 0 to 3 pi by 2, that is first, second and third quadrant. So if I split into two parts, 0 less than 3x less than pi and pi less than 3x less than 3 pi by 2. So in this, sine 3x will be greater than 0 because first and second quadrant, that means 3 sine 3x greater than 0. Therefore minus sine 3x less than 0. When I take this, then sine 3x, this is in third quadrant, less than 0 negative, so 3 sine 3x will be also negative. So minus 3 sine 3x will be greater than 0. So in this, f dash x is less than 0, and here f dash x is greater than 0. So in 0 to pi by 2 there will be, in some portion it will be increasing and in some decreasing. So I will say that cos 3x is neither strictly increasing or strictly decreasing on 0 to pi by. Okay, so this was about C. See, I had split here in two parts. Three quadrants are there, first, second, and third. In two quadrants, it is increasing, and so it means it will be decreasing, and in the third quadrant, it is increasing. So I will say it is neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to pi by 2. Okay, now let's see the last one, that is D. Tan x. Fx is equal to tan x. Here, so now differentiating it, I will get f dash x. Now derivative of tan x is sec square. Okay, now whatever value of x you will take, it is sec square x. So as it is square, this will be always greater than 0 for x belonging to R. But here only 0 to pi by 2 interval is given, right? So definitely if for x belong to R this is greater than 0, then for 0 to pi by 2 it will be greater than 0. So that implies for x belonging to 0 to pi by 2, tan x is strictly increasing. Okay, and you must also remember that 10 is increasing in all the quadrants. So remember, whatever function it is, sorry, whatever value of x you take, 10x will be always an increasing function. Okay, and on the other side, if you take cot x, here it is not given cot x, but let me write it down extra. If fx was equal to cot x, then f dash x will be equal to minus cos x square x. Now again cos x square, as it is square, this will be always positive, and there is a negative sign, so this will be always negative for x belonging to R. I will say less than equal to. Here also it is less than equal to, okay, but for 0 to pi, okay, if I take 0 to pi by 2, then it will not have value 0. So it is strictly increasing. Okay, the value of sec is 0 at pi by 2. So for 0 here we don't need to take pi by 2. Okay, so I will write down here just greater than 0 for x belonging to 0 to pi by 2. Okay, and this for cot x it is always increasing function for any value of x, because cos x square x is positive, sorry, not increasing, decreasing. Cot x is always decreasing, tan x is always increasing. Okay, so just note down question number 12. Okay students, so that's it for today. In our next video lecture we will continue with this exercise from question number 13. Thank you.